friends, welcome back to my channel. I'm Carrie Summer from The Summer Home, and in today's video, I'm taking you along with me as I decorate my home for Christmas 2025. First thing that we are going to get to is this room, which is my den slash home office. But first we need to back up a little bit to see what it looked like when I very first started, and it is a mess. So my husband is bringing down all of the Christmas from the attic, and here we go. I find it to be so much easier if I just get everything out of the way before I start decorating. So I store all of my decor upstairs in the bonus room. So that's where all of this will have to go at some point. So I'm clearing off the coffee table. I will keep the pillows on the sofa because I'll just switch the covers at the very end. And the entryway also has to be cleared out. I am keeping the rug in the entryway because it's machine washable, so it's good even through the winter time, and it's neutral, so it will go perfectly with the brighter Christmas colors that I'm bringing in. So we have to lose either this cabinet over here or this console table because the tree goes where these cabinets are currently at. And so I'm going to need to decide which one goes upstairs to our bonus room, either the cabinets or the console table. One of them has to go. And then onto the primary bedroom, which we're also going to be decorating. This one's going to be a little bit tricky because we're taking the chair out because that's where the little tree goes. And we're also switching out the area rug. So this one's going to be a bit of a project. And then onto the den slash office. So in here, this little table has to go away because that's where the tree for this room goes. So I'm hoping that we'll be able to still fit everything in here with these chairs staying here because I didn't have them last year. But this desk is a little bit smaller than the old one, so I think we're going to be good. And here come the trees. So this year I'm doing 5 different trees. So here I am going through the totes to see which is which, and I'm going to start with the den slash home office tree. So this one is a 7.5 foot tree that's not super full, which makes it a great option for a smaller room. And I like to go section by section, fluffing the branches instead of putting the tree together and then fluffing it. So that's what I'm doing here. So I'm pulling apart each branch from the middle. It can be time consuming, but so worth it when you're done. I do have a tree that you don't have to fluff every year that I will show you later if that's important to you. All right, friends, so I still have a little bit of fluffing to do, but I just wanted to show you this tree up close because you saw how easily it went together, and this tree is affordable, and I think this is our 4th year that we've had it. And the first year I actually just left it bare because I thought it was just such a pretty tree bare. But this company saves money because they put the real looking branches out here on the end, and then inside they have the thicker, not as natural looking ones, which you can't actually see. So they just look like part of the tree. So it's incredibly lifelike and super easy to put together, affordable, and just so pretty. All right, I'm moving on to putting up the living room tree. So I should note before we get too far along that you can shop everything that I'm sharing in the description of the video below. So I'm doing the same thing here that I did with the den tree, and that is just fluffing the branches one row at a time. This is the same brand of tree as the last one I shared, and it too is at a great price point and perfect for narrow spaces as well. And here you will notice a change of shirt because my husband had all the windows open because he was sweating running up and down the stairs and I was freezing. All right, so we do need to tighten the tree up a little bit. It's a little bit leaning, but I'm going to try some new lights that I'm going to be adding to the tree this year, and I'll show you that in a second. But even without the extra lights, it's such a really pretty tree. It's a slim 9-foot tree, and we've had this one for 4 years, so highly recommend it as well. Okay, onto the guest bedroom rug. So I'm kind of jumping around because my husband was helping me with all of the heavy lifting parts of the decorating. So those are the parts that we did first, and then I can get down to the pretty and fun part when he is back at work. And it's time to try out the new lights. So they come in one piece and it's like a web of lights, and they do come in different lengths. So I got the 10-foot one for my 9-foot tree. All right, so here's what the extra lighting looks like up close. So there's a little cap that you put on over the top of the tree, and then there are a bunch of these like little bundles. And so that's what I'm undoing right now. And then the theory is that they're just going to blanket the tree perfectly. So we shall see. So here I am unbundling them and spreading each string out so they don't get tangled up. And then I went back in and tucked them all into the branches so you couldn't see the cord part. I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I will share more once the tree is fully decorated. Okay, back to the primary bedroom. So we switched out the rug to this neutral one, which I'm really loving. And I wanted to do really neutral rugs in both here and in our guest bedroom because I'm going to be doing bright holiday colors in both, and I just didn't want the rug to be mismatched or to be competing. And then the guest bedroom Christmas tree is going to be in this corner, and I'll obviously be cleaning this room out and restyling the bed and the nightstands. All right, it is already so much better with all of the junk taken out. So now I feel like I have a blank slate and I can start decorating from here. So remember when I mentioned the tree that doesn't need fluffing? So this is that tree. It is the least time-consuming tree to put up by far, but it's also the most expensive. It literally clicks together and you don't even have to plug in each section separately. And it looks good as new right out of the bag each year. All right, let's get one room finished, shall we? So for this bedding look, I'm only changing a few key pieces on the bed, but these couple of changes will have a big impact. And of course, we couldn't have a video without the kitty making an appearance. Anyway, I'm adding a plaid bed blanket to the end of the bed and adding 3 festive throw pillows, and that is it for the bed. And for the side tables, I'm keeping it super simple with a trio of trees on one and a tree, candle, and candle accessories on the other. And you could, of course, keep it more practical for your guests if you would rather. And then above the bed, I took down the artwork and added this wreath tied with a simple red bow. So this room is a really good example of keeping it super simple yet festive for the holidays. So I really didn't spend much time or money on this room. A wreath and a few throw pillows and the bed blanket was all that I bought. The rest of it I already had, and I feel like I got a completely new look with very little spend or effort. Again, you can shop everything that I shared in the description of the video below. And I almost completely forgot to show you guys the tree all decorated. So simple as the theme of this room, tree included. I added a few red bows to tie in with the bed, but other than that, I just added a few neutral ornaments and called it a day. Okay, my friends, it is time for the main event. So I spend a lot more time with this tree, and I always start with the biggest ornaments and work my way down to the smallest. So I've been collecting ornaments since our first home 25 years ago. So a lot of these are older, but each year I do add to the tree with whatever color my theme is for the year. And for this year, it is classic red. So I bought some oversized red ornaments that I'm placing throughout the tree. And then I'm adding in some sparkly neutral ornaments, some white bell ornaments, cute gingerbread house ornaments, some smaller ornaments, and then I just keep going, stepping back every so often to make sure it is all looking balanced. And because I know that is coming, I'm going to be proactive and say that my daughter has her own tree in her room that she gets to decorate however she wants with whatever ornaments she likes. So that's where her ornaments live. But back to the tree and these adorable candles. So I've had these candles for a couple years, but this year I'm adding these cute red bows to them, which I'm loving. These bows come pre-tied, and so I'm just tying them on the base of the candle and then clipping the candle onto the branches of the tree. And after putting up all of the candles, I'm now adding in smaller ornaments to the spaces that are looking a bit bare. All right, I'm certain that I will be tweaking this tree at some point, but for now it is done. And these little candles just turned out to be even better than I thought. I'm missing the remote control from last year, so I had to unscrew them all, but this is what they look like when they're on, and I could not love the bow detail that I added this year anymore. And my mom wrapped all of the pretend gifts, so one little corner of my house is done. Remember the extra lights that I added? So I'm going to show you the difference without the extra lights and with the extra lights. So in my opinion, it was completely worth the extra time, but let's look at it one more time. So without the lights, with the lights. My mom also did these wreaths with these pretty bows, and I'm obsessed with the solid and the plaid combination of the ribbon. And one wreath is actually going to go here in the entryway on this mirror, and then one will go in each of the bedrooms. And you can see here that I'm standing in my entryway, and here's a peek into the bedroom. Everything is just such a mess. Besides the tree, it's just a disaster. But I did switch out my art prints in most of my frames, and I am so loving the artwork this year. It is so adorable. So here's a peek at the gallery wall in the entryway. And then I'm missing one over on my console table that'll be leaning against the wall that is yet to arrive. All right, friends, let's go back to the primary bedroom and this new tree. So this is the first year for this guy, and it's also from Amazon along with the tree collar, and it's an 8-foot flocked tree with pretty icicle lights. So again, I'm going branch by branch, section by section as I'm putting the tree together and fluffing it all up. Okay, so here's the tree. I haven't done anything else in this bedroom at all. I took the artwork down and things are piled up over here, and this tree is going to get pushed back further into the corner, and this lamp will go away. And I love the pretty reflection in the mirror. But anyway, super happy with the tree. It went together really quickly. I love how tall and skinny it is. It's perfect for a small space like a bedroom or a small living room. Highly recommend it. And it didn't drop a bunch of flocking below, which is always good. And it's affordable. Also, it comes in several sizes. All right, it is time to tackle our den slash home office shelves. So this is where we're starting from. I'll remove everything from the shelves and then I'll see what we're dealing with inside of the totes. Some of it I have unpacked and then we will start styling them. But before we get to the shelves, apparently I felt the need to open up some garland. So let's unpack some garland, shall we? So this is the one that I bought for over our den slash home office doorway, and it is really, really good garland. It looks almost identical to a much higher priced point one that I have and love. And this garland is for real 16 feet long. So if you have a doorway or a banister, this one is perfect. So I cleared everything off and now I'm just layering piece by piece. And oops, I just realized I didn't film decorating this tree. So what I did was took just all neutral ornaments and then tied a couple of the bows that I have on the main tree here. So cute little red bows, they just fasten on, and then just kept the rest of them neutral. And that's it. And here are the finished styled shelves in the den. So this year I kept them neutral and classic because I wanted the plaid pillows and the tree to be the star of the show in this space. I added holiday and winter artwork, little lamps, decorative objects, and personal photos. And here are the adorable plaid pillows. So they're super affordable and from Amazon. And then on the opposite side of the room, I kept my desk super minimal as well and hung some holiday artwork above it. And one last look across the entire space. Okay, my friends, it is time for an epic fail in this year's decor. So I had a vision in my head regarding this garland above the doorway, and this definitely wasn't it.
I mean, it needs to be less swaggy.
So I tried to fix it.
It's not garlandy anymore. It's not doing this anymore. It was doing that.
And one last attempt to try to salvage the vision that I had in my head. And you guys, in the end, I took it all down and ended up going with nothing above the doorway. And I'm super happy with it. All right, on to the primary bedroom to finish up this space. So the bed is going to be the star of the show in this room, but you guys, I really didn't have to do a lot. I kept the base neutral, which is how I start most of my layered bedding looks, and then added this adorable and reversible plaid quilt to the base of the bed. And then in front of our sleeping pillows, I added 3 matching Euro shams and green velvet pillows. And friends, it may look like Pottery Barn, but it's all actually from Amazon. Every single piece I used. And then above the bed is the cute wreath with the plaid ribbon. And opposite the bed is the tree that we just put up and our dresser, which again, I kept minimally decorated. And I feel like I unintentionally made the theme of this year's Christmas less is more, and it may end up being my very favorite look that I've done. And we are back to the living room and the pillow combo for the sectional. So again, this look is giving major Pottery Barn vibes, but actually all the pillow covers and this throw are from Amazon. And to say that I'm obsessed with this classic Christmas look is an understatement. Keeping it simple again on the coffee table with some garland in an oversized brass bowl and hurricane candle holders with battery powered candles. It's all from Amazon, my friends, and here is the finished living room look. Proof that you don't have to add a lot of items to get this classic Christmas look in your own home. All right, friends, I have 2 more spaces that I'm going to share, but unfortunately I do not have video of them because this was me and my home the morning that I was finishing up decorating, trying to get it all done before the photographer showed up. So we just have reveals for these spaces. All right, friends, I had to document this because this is the closest that I've ever been to not making it in time for the photographer. So we are T-minus half hour and this is what my house looks like. So this next half hour, crazy. And in a calmer moment, here is my entryway. So I kept the cabinet from the living room and moved it to the entryway and topped it with a new lamp, which by the way, is really affordable and does not look it. I also added the wreath and some artwork and a bowl filled with ornaments. And on the opposite side of the entryway is the gallery wall with a bench and more adorable plaid throw pillows. And in the dining room, I was scrambling to get it done, so I went with a simple tabletop tree inside an oversized pot and some throw pillows. And I actually thought I would add to it later, but I really am loving it, again, with the simplicity. And here's a quick look at the kitchen, along with the dining room open shelves. All right, my friends, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, if you liked this video and found it helpful, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel. And my next video is going to be my Christmas 2025 home tour, so you aren't gonna wanna miss that. And as I mentioned before, I'm linking everything that I shared today in the description of the video below. Thank you again for watching. Until next time, bye.